It's hard to stay bullish in a bear market, but it's even more difficult to stay level headed in a bull market. The real challenge in cryptocurrency is not making gains, it's keeping them. And the people that were calling XRP a scam at the lows are now bullish, and the ones that held through the worst are now calling for 1k per XRP. This is a level headed video, not doom, not hype, having a look at what's really happening, what matters going forward, and how to navigate it. So if you hold XRP or just enjoy watching XRP videos, be sure to leave a like down below. And with that said, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so a quick reminder, for every video that we make, this is not financial advice and for entertainment purposes only. Nothing in crypto is guaranteed and you could lose all of your money. Stay safe and do your own research. I made a similar video to this back in July 2023. If you own any XRP, you need to hear this. But the purpose was completely different. This was around a time when XRP was not deemed a security, but we would not see the price action that we were hoping for. Many seasoned investors who held XRP for a lot longer than I did sold their XRP. And there was exhaustion with XRP throughout the market, right? Going back to December 2020, the lawsuit was brought forth. We had an underwhelming bull market in 2021, and many believe XRP was underpriced as it was not a security. So when this occurred, it shocked a lot of people. XRP was the laughingstock of the community, and you're essentially an idiot to still hold, right? Sell your XRP and buy something else. Well, obviously, we didn't do that, and that was a morale boost on the channel. The difference is right now, we are at higher levels, and people who called XRP a scam at the lows to not buy it are now bullish. So individuals who are max FUD at the discounted lows of XRP are now bullish at higher price points. Now, does that mean that the top is in for XRP? Not necessarily. It's a critique on people doing whatever is popular, whatever gets the most engagement, bandwagon behavior, that the majority of people making videos on cryptocurrency do not have your interests at best. I made videos being bullish on XRP 3 years ago when I started this channel, and I'm still doing it today because that is what I believe in. Now, on the flip end, we have the opposite. The people that stayed with XRP, accumulated during the lows, who are now in profit, who are essentially correct, are now flipping to the other end and going for 1k per XRP predictions. This, in my eyes, is just as bad as FUDding at the lows because it creates unrealistic expectations. Right? In a previous video, I was confused because many XRP holders were upset with the price action. Right? XRP never moves. I've been seeing this for years. We're not at high price points. I'm thinking, are we holding the same cryptocurrency? The majority of altcoins in the market look like this, and XRP is still up over 300% on the year. So in turn, the hype cycle is causing you to have unrealistic expectations, and it's setting up investors for disappointment. Even if XRP goes on to $5, $10, $15 per coin this cycle, people will not be satisfied and not take an ounce of profit with their XRP. So on the Wall Street investor emotion chart, at the spare with max FUD, people tell you to sell your XRP, and at the higher levels, they call for 1k per token, flipping from one extreme to the other without any thought at all. And the funny thing is, when it comes to these predictions of $100 per XRP, they are not necessarily wrong, but they are actually too early, right? Because it's not popular to say this price prediction could be hit, but in 2030. People want today or tomorrow. So it's not popular to say this may happen in 7 years under the right conditions. People want to hear it's going to happen tomorrow. And that's what really stops people making a lot of money in the market, because most investments that are profitable are made over a long period of time. Now, just going into the idea of this happening today, there's 100 billion tokens of XRP. That would be $100 trillion market cap. Obviously, that's nearly the whole market cap of the largest companies by market cap in the world. And the total crypto market cap is 3.2 trillion. Now, when you think about it on a more realistic scale, like $100 per XRP, and you think in a longer time scale, we're back in 2015, the crypto market cap was 10 billion. Not many people would have thought we reached this high from $2 to $3 trillion. So that's a 200 or to around 300x on market cap. Now, obviously, we're not going to see that same growth right now. Most of the parabola is past, but we're going to see still increase from maybe to 10 trillion to 20 trillion in the future of the crypto market cap. If XRP remains a top cryptocurrency, it'll be a lot higher than $2. And you know, when it comes to utility, things take time, right? Ripple is having endless licenses being approved, acquiring all of these different companies, partnerships with banks, the progress on the XRP ledger, but that doesn't really, it's not binary. It doesn't affect the price immediately as soon as those things happen, right? We see it with other cryptocurrencies on the channel. This project has not even broken all-time highs despite having its technology being used in the digital pound, digital euro, UK's regulated liability network alongside Visa, MasterCard, Barclays. These things are not binary, and it really takes time for this to reflect in cryptocurrencies. And being attached to these higher price points is only going to hurt you more. Think back to 2021. Many holders who accumulated XRP for the bear market held through the actual FUD of the lawsuit did not sell because they're waiting for $10 per XRP and ended up round tripping their holdings to prior entry points that they had in the bear market. It was all for nothing. Now, I want to end the video on a positive note because to many I might sound pessimistic, but it's more so being level-headed. Right? I was bullish at the absolute lows when it seemed crazy. Now I'm being level-headed at the highs when that seems crazy also. The great news is smart money is not selling. Right? This is a concept we've spoken about before on the channel, checkingsentiment.net. Now we can see the holders holding 1 million to 10 million XRP, ranging from $2 million worth of XRP to $20 million worth, are not selling, have held the highest amount of XRP they ever have. And the wallets holding 10 million to 100 million XRP, right, 20 million to $200 million worth, also now hold more than they ever have, scooping up on the dip of XRP. No sell-off that I notice at all. And whales typically, not always, typically have a higher understanding and have inside knowledge in the market, who have the most to risk, and they are not selling their XRP. And it really is quite surprising because typically you see hype rise up, you see retail FOMO in, as we can see with these lower amounts compared to the whale amounts of XRP, and whales usually dump off their holdings. We are not seeing that. That is a healthy sign. Also, when you look at the chart, we are seeing healthy consolidation, nothing in comparison to the previous peak of the blow off top of 2017, 2018. If you compare the actual months from the peak, we were at the lows with no sign of recovery back then compared to now. Another healthy sign. So if the holders with the most amount of money invested, the most tokens, a higher knowledge of XRP are not selling, what do they know that retail does not? Could it be the fact that Bloomberg now gives XRP an 85% chance of ETF approval in 2025, and the majority of people are overlooking what the ETF can really do, what it did for Bitcoin just because of a poor performance with Ethereum, right? A big factor that we've spoken about on the channel over 100 times at Grayscale was a big seller on the Bitcoin Ethereum ETF, and they barely hold any XRP. And obviously utility and interest, that institutional interest that XRP has, that Ethereum does not. Or is it something else that I'm not aware of and the retail are not aware of? If you think it's something else, let me know down below. But that's going to be pretty much it for today's video. I think this video had to be made on XRP to not get too welled up on high predictions and understand the people who were bullish at the start and bullish now, rather than fuzzing at the bottom and bullish at the top. These people do not have your interests at best. But if you made this far in a video, thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.